Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Sophie, and we are here to help guide you to the why behind your wellness why.
Come join us on our journey.
Hi, everyone. Today on Wellness Why, we have Matt Atsoff, one of my old friends who used to work with me at Hi-Fi, where I'm at now. And then he ended up moving west.
Correct. Yes.
Matt, so today we just want to get into your background with fitness and wellness. I know you started with it at a young age and are still sticking to it, and your journey has changed a little bit. So we want to get into that. Give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah. I think I was definitely into fitness and like the concept of working out at a young age. I think I started when I was like 12, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I pretty much just did bicep curls and bench press all the way through high school.
Love it.
and then ended up studying it thoroughly in college. I had an internship, and I think I really actually learned how to like actually train in college. A lot from my internship at Mike Boyle Strength and Conditioning, and and I'm continuing to learn. I'm 35, going on 36 now, and learning more every year.
I love it. Talk to us a little bit about what has changed in your health and wellness journey, like along the way, some things.
For sure, yeah. I would say when it first started, it was all motivated by aesthetics, which I think probably true for a lot of people, you know.
For sure.
And then as I got older, it was more about speed and power, like kind of like late teens, early 20s. And now it's more just like lifestyle and how I feel from the day to day. You know, I think like I played competitive hockey up until I was 26, so I was like constantly active. And I remember that first year that I stopped playing hockey, I was like, I don't really need to work out that much, whatever. You know, and I realized that, you know, after 4 or 5 days of not working out, I'd get really irritable and cranky. And I realized that how much it just helps my mood to stay active and healthy. So that's probably the good evolution of the motives for working out. It started out aesthetic, and now it's more about how I feel.
So can you tell us a little bit about like how does wellness and fitness play a role in your professional life and then also your personal life too?
How does it play into my professional life? I mean, I think like one, leading by example, and two, having good energy for my clients. If I'm hungover or something, or you know, I'm not getting enough sleep, like I think one thing that's demanding about a trainer's schedule is usually you have like early morning clients and you have like evening clients, and that's like a long time throughout the day to stay focused. And if you are not getting good sleep or not taking care of yourself, like one of those clients are you're not giving them your full attention. It's actually, you know, pretty demanding focus wise, I think, personal training. So, and coaching. So yeah, it's professionally, that's definitely it. Having good focus throughout the day. I've actually been working on, I think I got into these bad habits of like drinking caffeine at like 5 o'clock in the evening because I'm trying to stay with my clients in the evening, you know, but that was just me playing catch up for not taking care of myself on the weekend. So now what happens with that is your sleep obviously is not as good when you're drinking caffeine that late in the evening. So I'm working on just naturally cutting back on the caffeine, working out, getting good sleep.
Let me tell you, Matt and I lived together for a few months, and the man has energy in the morning. I wake up one morning and I have a 6 a.m. client, and I wake up and I'm like eyes closed, and he's like, "Good morning, Sophie," and I'm like, "Matt, shut up."
I feel like you have energy in the morning too, Sophie.
Medium. Matt has more morning energy.
Yeah, I am definitely a morning person, and it slowly fades out throughout the day.
So, Matt, talk to us about how your body felt while you were playing hockey and how it feels now with what you've been getting into.
Okay, so I think, I mean, best way to say it is when I was younger, I really didn't know my body nearly as well as I do now. Um, my body, I was constantly hurt playing hockey, and I kind of thought it was just because I played more physically, and that was definitely part of it. But I also didn't take care of my body at all, and I used to just kind of binge eat, and I probably still didn't get enough protein in a lot of the times when I was playing hockey, and I'd constantly end up with strains, tears, bruises. I was constantly beat up, and I have this mentality to go hard all the time, and I'm learning that that's not always the best thing for my body, which actually is probably why I decided to pick golf as my new hobby.
Woohoo! Talk to
Yeah.
us about that switch. Why did you feel like you needed another sport?
Well, I definitely am motivated by chasing a ball around or a puck around to stay active. I'm not much of a fitness class person. Not that fitness classes are bad. I just would rather play a sport. So, so that golf, I saw a lot of longevity in that because of you can still take care of your body, but I don't have to worry about a grown 240-pound man sliding into my knee and making me have knee surgery or something on the ice. So, yeah, I thought it was a nice, safe, comfortable transition. I did also pick up snowboarding, though, which is a little contradicting, but we don't have to talk about that right now. More specifically, yeah, about my switch from hockey to golf is I had a nasty hip injury, felt something pop, and I was like limping around, walking around for a while. I definitely couldn't skate. I definitely felt it when I was skating, and I was just kind of like, this isn't really going to be sustainable for me in the long run. And one thing I could do in the meantime while my hip was hurt, I could play a golf club, all right? So I ended up using that to fill the time while I was injured, and couldn't really train as hard with the hip injury. Even a lot of like core work was painful, so I had to kind of really ease up on a lot of my training. So yeah, I would walk the golf course and join the golf club, and that's kind of how it all started, my golf habit now.
Kind of already started telling us like your journey into getting into golf, but how does it play a role now? Like, how do you do it? When do you do it? All of that good stuff.
Yeah. So I pretty much I try to I'll play like to some degree like an hour a day, whether that's going to the driving range or sometimes you can walk 9 holes in 2 hours, and I think walking the golf course has been a huge and beneficial component for me in my life. It's making me more active, and even just like times where it's something for me to do. It does take up a lot of time at times. It's one thing I do also when I walk the golf course. Since I do it during the week too, I ended up not drinking. So I know a lot of people associate golf with drinking, and it's a nice activity that I can do while I don't drink. And I like to focus on good quality performance sober. And I'm actually working on getting a little bit better at golf while drinking because I never do it. And when I do ever drink, I'm worse. I'm way worse. Just for the social component, because sometimes I like to go out on the weekends with my friends and play. So
yeah. I have to ask, golf in Chicago compared to Denver.
Yeah, there's 300 days of sunshine here, and man, it is so much more comfortable being outside in Denver. I want to say it's probably I don't even know, but off the top of my head, it's got to be about 5 to 6 times the amount of golf days here than there are in Chicago. So it's been a really nice transition, which has also helped my golf habit.
Yeah.
When the sun's out here in January or February, and it's like 50 degrees, it's actually really comfortable. Where I feel like Chicago, the sun's never out and it's gray, and There's just no way you want to be outside in 50 degrees in Chicago. Maybe that's not true. 50 degrees could be okay, but 50 degrees is definitely better here when the sun's out.
Way to both like move away from me, guys.
Chelsea, you're on the East Coast, right?
I'm in North Carolina. I'm right around the Raleigh area, so I can relate.
A lot
to
of golf there.
Sunshine piece of it. It's
Nice.
a crazy difference than Chicago. Sorry to break it to you, Sophie.
I know. It's sunny here right now, though.
That's impressive. That's good.
Happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, Matt, you're a scratch golfer now, aren't you?
Yeah. I am a scratch golfer now.
How long did that take you to get that goal?
It took me a little under 3 years, which borderline embarrassing. But yeah, I would play. I would play once a day. I play a lot. I definitely dedicated a good amount of time to learning it, and I made friends with a lot of good golfers who I could constantly pick their brains about something if I didn't understand it. Constantly getting better at it, it seems never ending.
Oh, for sure.
It's like once you get something, then you want to do it more consistently, and it's all just grouped into your practice habits. And I think there's actually a strong correlation between, getting better at golf and also getting better at fitness, right? And living a better, healthier lifestyle. It's just the good habits, that you're practicing on a daily basis. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because you have that golf certification, don't you?
Yeah, it's not. So I did the TPI certification, which it's not active, but I mean, I learned a lot from it, and I continue to study it.
Do you have any tips for someone that is looking to do a new sport or try something new, like you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Sophie, you said you golfed recently, right?
Yeah.
Did you get scared like on the first tee when everyone's watching?
Yeah, well, so I was in Geneva, and it was just my boyfriend and I, and it was a slow morning. As soon as we pulled up, this guy in the golf cart goes, "You guys are brave this morning. No one's showing up to their tee time." And I'm immediately like, great. That means we should probably also turn around. And then I was scared to get paired up with another couple.
Right. Yeah.
So immediately I was like, Dan, let's go. You tee off first. Come on. I was so nervous, but it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. Chelsea, do you golf at all?
I also went for the first time the same weekend, coincidentally, that Sophie did.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But yeah. I am even far behind than she is. The first time we went out, I just actually putt around my boyfriend. So I would ride in the cart with my boyfriend, and then he would actually play the whole hole. And then what I would try to do is just practice my putting game. So wherever he would land his ball on the green, then I would just putt from there. And then we slowly increased, but long ways to go. That's for sure.
That's definitely getting into the game, depending on what your athletic background is. I feel like you can start in different areas, but I'd say the biggest concept is just trying to make contact with the ball in the center of the face. Putting is actually a great place to start because it's a lot easier to make contact. And just working your way back from the hole from putting, you go from putting to chipping, and then into your full swing. But if you're just getting into golf too, just don't be scared. Just swing. Just hit the ball. Go to the range. I definitely recommend going to the range over going on the course for the first time because as you may have seen, it's hard to hit the ball sometimes.
But I like the range, but I also would rather go to a range with real grass because the turf is not realistic to the fairway at all.
I agree. The turf, the divot that you make, the divot is actually supposed to be after the ball. You hit the ball first, then make a divot. But it can kind of give you feedback. If you see that the divot was before the ball, that's where you messed up. But you don't get that on a map. So I agree. Yeah, grass range is definitely a lot better. It gives you more feedback.
Yeah. Do you have any practice tips?
Go to a grass range and focus on hitting the center of the face, the center of the club face. That's start with a half swing. Start with a half swing and work your way to a full swing.
So I grew up like sport wise, I grew up running and I also danced like since I was 3 or 4. And so I am not a ball type of girl. Like I did not
Right.
no type of sport that included any type of ball or equipment. So it is funny now as an adult learning a sport that has some, like you said, when you were transitioning like hockey to golf, not that they're the same at all, but you're holding something, you're hitting something. So it's interesting to think about that transition with different types of sports when you're transitioning from something to something.
For sure. Like, I mean, even like any kind of rotational sport like tennis or hockey or baseball can transition to golf better than someone who's just used to running or dancing, for sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's obviously still, roadblocks to overcome with any sport transition, but definitely harder if you haven't been a rotational sport athlete.
Yeah.
But the longevity is great, and you have your whole life to practice. I mean, I play with 80-year-olds that walk the course sometimes, and I absolutely love talking to them and hearing their story about how long they've been golfing and why they still golf, and it's really cool actually. Yeah. And I hope to beat them someday.
Yeah.
You will be.
Thanks, Sophie. A big tip that many people don't realize is strength training is super beneficial to golf and having good longevity in the game. I mean, it's just like life. You don't need to strength train to get through life, but it can help the quality of your life. It can help the quality of your golf game. Realistically, having really good strength and mobility is only going to make you more capable of hitting better shots.
What kept you going back to play more golf? Do you know? Was it just internal?
Yeah, it's definitely like my like when I do something, I want to do it good and do it fully and commit to it. I think I've always, if I do something, I like to commit to it fully, and as opposed to doing a bunch of different sports kind of mediocre, which is fine too. This is my personality. I like to master whatever I'm doing. So
For sure.
that's why I kept coming back, and I'm constantly intrigued about how to do stuff differently, and I'm still intrigued trying to figure out how to hit the ball in different ways to be more efficient and consistent.
I love it.
I think in summary, I think you should always be passionate about being active, whatever it is, that you like to do, whether it's dancing or just hiking, anything, And for me, that's golf. I'm passionate about golf. It's fun for me, and I obviously like to do other things too. Like I like to snowboard, I like to hike. A part of me wants to dance still. I need to learn how to dance, but I just don't have the time. Like in another life, I would go back and like be like the best dancer ever. I just don't. I committed to golf, so maybe, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. We'll see. Maybe I'll start with salsa. I don't know.
Do you have rhythm?
No, not great. Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for sharing. And yeah, I love that you had told us a little bit about your journey and your why. And we just really appreciate you taking the time to be here today.
Thank you, Matt, for joining us.
Appreciate you having me. Have a good one.